NcaaAF Sports Classic in Cleveland, a matchup of blue bloods. It is Carolina versus Kentucky. Carter Blackburn with the LaSalle basketball star, Bill Raftery.
Oh, I love how you extend the truth. The ability to get up and down the floor. Ooh, very important. Great denial on the wing here as well. Not a good game. A 5-on-4 now.
2-0 start for the Cats, but 2 early fouls as well. Mintz in the corner, 3 won't go, second chance. Boston, who picked up one of those fouls, gets his first bucket. The freshman Brandon Boston Jr. The Cats need a good game out of him.
They sure do. And Mintz, one of those guys, I think he's the best shooter on this team. They're soft enough to be tippable. Empty side ball screen here by Carolina. Goes side to side, the dive to the box. Pretty, huh?
Davis with a nice speed inside. First bucket for Carolina. So, Bill, what do you see defensively from the Heels?
Carolina with a little bit of man, and unfortunately, a little nickel dimer by Davis.
Now we take a look at our starting lineups. 2 freshmen in the backcourt for the Heels, Davis and Love. 3 freshman starters for the Cats. And, of course, our coaching matchup, 2 Naismith Hall of Famers, Roy Williams and John Calipari.
Trying to find their stride, Kentucky right now. Problems turning it over. Not shooting the ball well from the perimeter. That's why Sarr becomes essential in that offensive scheme for John.
Well, Coach Cal said yesterday was the most mature practice of the year here yesterday. A lot more chatter. Feels like the individuals are coming together more as a team.
Well, he said that counters the immature people announcing the game.
One very mature Mintz had to travel. By the way, Davis got his first personal for Carolina. And for Roy Williams, who had a bow to Mr. Raftery before tip. Very impressive.
Has nothing to do with success coaching, just the acknowledgement of age.
All right, so both of these teams, Bill, have had their issues in the early going. I mean, Carolina's 4-2, top 25. We know Kentucky's struggling at 1-4, but biggest things you want to see out of Carolina and Kentucky?
I think the inside game for both clubs is essential, and not making mistakes with the ball. Nice kick out.
Black missed 3, but a second chance. Baycott strong to the rim. Fouls on the floor as whistled by Eric Curry. That is already the 3rd team foul on Kentucky.
Boy, I love Baycott's motor, though. They called it on the floor, but ready to go to that lefty hook. But you notice the missed deep shot.
Well, that's a big second one on Isaiah Jackson. He had the first bucket for Kentucky. A terrific freshman at 6'10", but that is 2 early fouls. That could loom big.
Now look at this nice out-of-bounds play, setup screen. Black with the bump. Big speed at the rim.
Garrison Brooks hammers it home. 4-all. Terrence Clark asked to play an even bigger role now for the Cats. Clark back to Mintz. A grad transfer from Creighton. Boston covered up. Heels defending. Mintz has a 3 right over the top.
That's the guy. I mean, he is a confident stroker. Terrific career at Creighton. Brings maturity to the floor as well. Little horn set. Pick your poison. Little high-low action. Typical Carolina. Do a nice job cross-screening the bigs.
Love has it 9 to shoot. Love turns the corner off the screen from Baycott. Davis 5 to shoot. Off the bounce. Davis in the lane. R.J. Davis through contact. Sarr keeps it alive, and now Mintz runs the Cats.
Nice look.
And Boston finishes it off. It's Mintz to Boston on the fly.
A great field by Mintz. Heads up play, filling the lane on the wing. Box to box. Always, this is the game I think they have to do. Drive the ball to get decent mid-range jumpers until you get that confidence in Black.
Over the back, looks like Brooks picks up the first personal foul. Cleveland rocks, and the Cats bombing from long range.
Ooh, a little nylon. Mid that, baby. How about the little look away? A little maneuver at the tin. Big time, Boston. Mintz, you should Mintz this one. Beautiful looking stroke. Gets those puppies organized. The push ahead. Very confident in the open floor. Knows he can make him much more relaxed, I think, than the earlier games. A little nylon on a consistent basis. And that's that look away at the bench.
Yeah, he sat last year at Creighton with an ankle injury. He took over point Creighton his freshman year when the great Maurice Watson, great player, suffered a major knee injury. But I mean, even though he's a veteran, he's getting into his flow as well with the Cats.
That's particularly in the new program. It's a little bit different. The comfort zone's not quite the same. Always be ready against Carolina on a dead ball or a timeout. Kessler on the floor, great looking prospect too. Runs the floor, got a really good looking shot.
Clark floater, took a pump play on, no goaltend. It is out of bounds to the heels.
They said it went over the top of the backboard. Nice little dribble drive. And look at this contest of the bigs. Goodness. Some hands in the jar. Nice little give.
Latek trying to feed it inside, knocked away. So Askew brings Kentucky back.
I like to see him get going too. Get his confidence.
So Askew playing the one, Mintz off the ball, Clark off the ball, spotting up on the wing. Sharp has the board for Carolina.
Sharp play by Askew though.
Love pushing it. Davis on the bench with 2 fouls. In time, what a move.
How about the footwork and the stride by the big fella?
After the slow start for North Carolina, 9-0 run, they've made their last 5 shots.
Getting it inside is so important for them. Out of bounds.
Stepped on the baseline. The sideline says Eric Curry, out of bounds, turnover.
And Mintz with a little bit of a push, a little woofing going on. That time with Love. How about that? The ability, one, the post up and then the terrific stride. What a big guy.
No fans. We know neither of these teams in the top 10 right now, but it has the juice of Kentucky, Carolina.
These are 2 teams that are going to get better during the course of the year. You know, rocky starts, developing in confidence, and usually, how about Roy? You know, 3 guys in a row are freshmen as his point guards. I mean, and that is very difficult to come. You know, White, Anthony, and now Love.
Off the Love miss. Kentucky runs again as Mintz. Eyes up.
Give Sarr a touch here.
That's Sheridan in the half court. Boston pulls up from the elbow. Well short. Follows his miss, and then Kessler called for the foul on Brandon Boston Jr. following his miss.
Not a bad little defensive set by Kessler. Showed big, recovered, just got the body involved down in the low box area. But they do come at you with numbers up front, Carolina.
There is a bevy of big men available for the heels.
Has Boston doubled all the games this year? 20-10 against Richmond.
Well, the maturity and growth of Brandon Boston Jr. is going to be a major factor for Kentucky if the Wildcats are going to turn it around.
I don't know how he does it every year, John, though. It's very difficult just starting one freshman and incorporating him into your philosophy, taking away any unselfishness he might have, and being the star instead of blending. But every year, it's 5 new ones. A little full court pressure now.
And here's a reminder, the 84-85 team started 1-4, ended up in the Sweet 16. Love running point for Carolina. Guarded by Askew.
Sharp trying to really load up on that low box area.
Isaiah Jackson still on the Kentucky bench with 2 personal fouls. He had the first bucket, and now Sharp steps out, boarded by Mintz.
A little bit of a settle.
That was his first 3-point attempt of the year. Mintz stops. Askew follows. And now Askew off the bounce in tight.
And that's that jump stop John told both of us they were working on. Fundamentals, going back to basics. Camp Cal. I don't think there was any lemonade distributed at Camp Cal that week off.
Do you think it was more grinding?
I think more informative, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the halftime at Notre Dame, I think he, and I don't know this is fact, but I'm sure it was more instructive than really getting after them, because you're trying to develop this whole attitude as a group of doing it for one another, not individually. And I do think that's what he did, because he said there was a lot of film, a lot of weight, even though they did 3 a days.
They got a violation. That's That's an easy one to call.
I think they should, if you get your foot back before they shoot. What do you think?
Kind of like offsides, defense, you get back
sure,
and
why
forth
not?
step without contact.
Just a little dance step.
I like it.
And sometimes
I like it. Hey, you excel at the dance steps as well.
normally later in the evening, though.
We'll tiptoe around that one.
The numbers now.
Love with eyes up, attacking on Askew, right to the rim.
That kid can take you. Stick with that. Keep basing.
Kentucky's gone over 4 minutes without a field goal.
Ooh, offense.
That is
Two. Number two, right?
It is. So that's 2 on Jackson, 2 on Sarr. It's another Kentucky turnover. And now you look at Caleb Love, who took that one hard, and he's still down.
He didn't have to move at all. Well, normally Askew or other guards might start early, but boy, that is really a rock-solid giveaway on Love. Hopefully he's okay. I think he's a little jarred going to the bench.
He certainly is. So that means R.J. Davis is going to come back for Carolina with 2 personal fouls. And concern for Caleb Love going to the end of the Carolina bench. And then now foul trouble for the Cats. Jackson and Sarr both with 2.
And those are the bigs, and you got to counter the plethora of size by Carolina.
You would say they have a...
That's a graduate school word.
Oh, good.
Explain it a little bit later.
Little Raptor going El Wapo. So Davis back in to run point.
And just run point. That's exactly what he has to do. He's got a great handle. Pretty creative. Watch some highlights of him this morning. He and White, they are outstanding individuals. Now we need to incorporate it.
9 to shoot. Black trouble catching it. 7. Black draws 2. Creates. Brooks 3.
Really good defensive set by Kentucky.
Boston pushes the Wildcats. Trying to take play tech. It's Clark. Another runner. Ware follows it up. Lance Ware. Presence felt from Camden, New Jersey.
He brings energy, that kid, watching him. Pretty good defense by him as well.
Wow, Baycott couldn't finish, sticking with it. Ware ends up with a foul, and that is his second, if indeed it is on Ware. We'll confirm in a moment. That's another big one on the Cats.
This team's just a great offensive rebounding team over the years. Finished first on a consistent basis. They just attack the glass, relentless. And appropriately, they wear you down. But, of course, at the other end, Ware providing a big-time lift, an aggressive performer.
So, Bill, you pointed out early, I mean, with all of the Carolina big men, they have the ability to hang fouls on you. Now, Jackson, Sarr, and Ware all had 2 for Kentucky, and Baycott's not going anywhere.
Well, what they do is they get down the floor quickly, so they post up. So they've got you in a vulnerable spot already. And then once it goes up, they body you a little bit under the rim. Terrific offensive rebounding club.
Clark sets him up.
Like you see Clark get involved with some dribble drives. Here's a little post rubs. You've run those for Hero. You mentioned Monk earlier. Over the course of time.
December 16th. That phenomenal performance from Monk. 5 to shoot here. Mintz, Brooks switches off. So Mintz, great shot fake. Couldn't stick it, but there's Ware again.
This kid works. He's a pleasure to watch. Brings a lot of high-octane effort.
Oh, and you always like the Garden State guys, I know. Play tag, Brooks, alley, and oop for the heel.
It's oops for the defense, but a little backscreen set that up. And they get the ball side to side. Really stretch your defensive help.
Jackson out there with 2 fouls for Kentucky.
He's got to play intelligently about it.
Here he is. Isaiah Jackson pulls up, and Jackson tap out of bounds.
And Ware chasing it again. He is aggressive.
3-point game, and they are rocking on both ends.
You mentioned Jersey. Why not? Jersey's finest. The ability at the rim, a little back screen. Send it in.
5 assists and a 3-point lead.
Cal was talking to both of us about the ability to find one another, make the extra pass, be unselfish. Nice dive to the rim and finished by Jackson. But getting the ball around the rim, get some open shooters, extremely effective, and getting them organized. Askew that time, perimeter by Mintz was really provided a solid lift.
So if John Calipari is saying we want to see more energy and playing more together as a team, that's how we're going to get better. For the first 13 minutes, you would say mission accomplished.
I think his message was heard, and the response has been excellent. And I love the energy of where we have a little shot of him for good reason. Really has played well.
Foul trouble on both sides, but players with two both out there for the Cats and the Heels.
Platek not able to get a shot.
Black slow start, but he nails it.
And
That's Black's first
elevation. That mid-range game for him, I think, is the secret. Platek has to keep busy. Nice back cut.
Yeah, Clark.
Offense.
And it's going to be play on. It's a play on. So Platek trying to draw the charge. And Patrick Evans did not buy.
He didn't sell well enough, you think?
Still moving. I mean, that's...
Tell you what, I thought it was a pretty good play by Platek, didn't you?
Well, I'm among those who say if the flop, play on, just see how it goes. But hey,
you sound like a suburban guy.
I'm not wearing the stripes or the whistle.
Well, the eyes of Texas are upon you, by the way.
We haven't even gotten into Willie Nelson yet. That's a travel by Clark. Give it back to the Heels. And
I think John just saying jump stop. He's going to take him out. He doesn't waste much time with the yank.
And that is literally one of the things they have worked on over and over. Jump stop.
Hey, John looked like Sparky Anderson. Give him the hook. Get him out of here.
Sparky was not an analytics guy, was he?
No, I don't think so.
It came from the gun. North Carolina trying for its first lead. Looking for a spark.
And there's the seal low. Offense again. This one by Brooks. I don't know why big guys just don't freeze in position.
Tomorrow, Josh Grover, Miranda Lambert, Megan Trainor, Leslie Odom Jr., and Andrea Bocelli celebrate the greatest gift of the season, family. A home for the holidays tomorrow on CBS. And I have to say what a joy it is to be 6 feet away from you, Phil Raftery, celebrating college basketball in the holiday season.
I was hoping it was longer.
Right.
Than 6.
You can put that in your next rider, Bill.
A nice little defense here.
Second foul on Brooks, by the way. And now Boston off the miss. Fight for it. Won by Baycott.
One thing, Kentucky's getting good. Now, this is a tough shot on right away without running any offense. That'll get you a hook.
What a rebound for Ware. I mean, he is doing battle with the Tar Heel big man.
Topping on the floor now. Very athletic. It runs in the family, by the way.
Absolutely. Ladies and Nick, so is former Kentucky assistant Kenny Payne.
A little pin down. I think of Booker running this as well. You mentioned the others.
Boston floater over Baycott, boarded by Sharp. Leaky Black.
One big loads up, the other's at the top. And Ware does a nice job. Thinking he won't make that. Sharp won't make that deep three.
Love up top. 10 to shoot for the Heels. Feed into the post.
You got 2 on the glass now, too, if you get a good shot.
3 to shoot. Love gives it up. Davis late in the clock. Buries it. And North Carolina has its first lead on Kentucky.
Well, if he can do that at 34% at a clip, what a welcome relief. For Carolina, that is.
Boston on the wing. Davis is out there to deny Askew. So now 9 to shoot for Kentucky. Toppin off the bounce. Jacob Toppin.
So
No
hit the
reset.
rim.
Yeah, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Askew floats it and hits it.
I like
Late
that,
clock
though.
buckets, both in.
Askew doing a nice job using the dribble drive, not settling for a deep shot, gained some confidence.
Even again, Clark's coming back for Kentucky.
When you're that talented, nice little dribble drive here.
All the way to the rim. A defensive breakdown for Kentucky.
Refuse the ball screen, empty side, blow by.
Askew trying to attack on Davis. That's offensive foul on Devin Askew. Offensive foul and another Wildcat turnover. Back and forth.
John was looking for Vegas, dribbled for a lot of weave-in balls. This one, the ability to knock it down and convert. How about this ability on the empty side? Finish the deal big time.
Chiefs against the Saints. Drew Brees makes his return. All begins noon Eastern. The NFL today. Tomorrow, the NFL is on CBS. This is a welcome sight here in Cleveland. The Browns in the thick of the playoff picture. Bills positioned to win the AFC East for the first time since 1995. And with another terrific Bill Raftery. Here's a look at the foul trouble.
An interesting lineup right now for Carolina.
All of those fouls will be impactful, including for Carolina.
How about John?
Davis and Brooks.
John gave a little Carolina medicine there with the little trap in the corner on the inbounds.
Stealing one from the Carolina playbook. It is Heels by 2.
Who is USAA made for? It's made for this guy, a veteran who honorably served. And it's made for her. She's serving now. We made it for all branches and all ranks, whether they served one tour or made a career of it. We also made USAA for military spouses and their kids. USAA is easy to work with and can save you money on auto, home, and renter's insurance. Become a member today. Call us for a quote. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
CBS tomorrow. If there was ever a year to come together and celebrate, this is it. Join Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood as they take requests and play their holiday favorites. Garth and Trisha live tomorrow on CBS.
Now David's got to run the show now with the inexperience on the floor. But they got numbers here if they want.
Clark on the run.
Tough shot.
Oh, he gives it up to Boston. The ding as he was hanging in the air.
We're looking at the bench for a call right now. Empty side one-on-one.
Boston off the bounce and floater.
Wow. They jumped on that left hand. He took advantage beautifully.
Even again at 29. Brandon Boston Jr. 7 early points.
I just so loved it up to go in the game. That's a good sign. Nice denial. Top of.
Ware takes it away. And now Clark taking it on Davis. Forced a little bit against Baycott, right?
Absolutely. He's so quick, isn't he? Nice little find off the dribble. He's just solid at that end, but with that whole left side to go and then take advantage of that bounce. Beautiful ability against Baycott. Owned him on this particular play. These kids get a little more confidence, start playing together a little bit more. It'll be a tough out.
The Kentucky fouls on Lance Ware, and that is his 3rd. So the first to pick up 3. Ware, who's just been terrific. I mean, the numbers are good, but the energy and presence even better.
Absolutely. A little juice on the floor. And lead by example, too, for some of these younger guys.
R.J. Davis still with the tape on the left thumb. That injury early in the year, but he's dealt with it. The freshman from White Plains, New York. New York Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, nice little pull-up game, too. Great speed. I think he'd be a terrific on-ball defender as well.
Askew sets it up. Jackson out there with 2 personals for the Cats. Sharp nearly gets the steal. And now onto the baseline. Top and misses. Mintz follows it up. And 1 for the veteran Davion Mintz.
And he came from the foul line. He came a long way, 15, 17 feet. And just aggressive play. And disarmed in the low post, but right into your camera from the foul line. That is just a good understanding of reading where the ball's coming off the rim.
That foul's on Kerwin Walton, his first. And you could tell 2 Hall of Fame coaches, when you get in the bonus, you attack the rim. And you see that late in this first half from both sides.
Well, that's something that's part of a learning process, too. You get away with things on high school level. The speed of coverage is so much different. The reaction and a 3-point line.
Are you taking some notes just in case there's a Bill Raftery coaching comeback?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Too many people saw our teams play.
I wanted to start the rumor. Sharp keeps it alive. Kick out. Love, no 3. Jackson wins the fight for the board. And now Askew pulls up the reins.
Double high, 1 rolls, 1 pops.
Askew nearly walked. Topping off the bounce pass sharp. All the way misses the hammer dunk. But gets it right back. And now Baycott rips it away. I mean, it is a fight underneath the rim.
I don't know if Toppin had to jam that. I think he had a layup easily with the rim protecting him.
Boston step back to the foul from Playtech and one. There's the explosiveness you know you can get from Brandon Boston.
Well, he's in his comfort zone, so to speak. The ability to make that mid-range jumper, take that little bit of a lick, step back. Boy, these kids do that very well. Just gorgeous preparation, and then the drill.
And it's been pointed out a lot, but I mean, these are young men, and Brandon Boston, who reclassified first commit as part of this class for Kentucky. I mean,
well, the young men with a lot of rep. And I think that's part of the difficulty, because they have everybody telling them for years now that you are the guy. And as we have known consistently, particularly at Kentucky, the team game as they develop these young people.
Pressure from the Cats.
Pretty.
And then Playtech finishes it off as the Heatles
Can't happen. When you press like that, your back guy has to be in position.
That ends the Kentucky 7-0 run.
And basically the reason they back guy, though, there's not a 5-man on the floor.
That's Fletcher out there because the 3 fouls on Ware.
Yeah.
And now Askew, there's a foul on Playtech. Askew trying to attack again. That is the second on Playtech. Coming up on AT&T at the half, we'll send you to New York where the guys break down our first half and bring you highlights of the other big games in action coming up on AT&T at the half. What'd you think of the Zags?
Very impressive. Saw him a couple of weeks ago, 2 games. Unbelievable. Much better defensively than people think. They got a lot of people who can ring the bell. But Playtech here, you've got an empty side, and he doesn't jump on the right hand of Askew, forcing him to the middle, and nobody really communicated for Carolina. That's part of the growth process.
And then Askew continuing to attack for the Cats. He played big minutes in the first half, spins that one in. Kentucky by 5.
Now they're set. Boston's the back guy in the press. Nice little trap.
Lolled into the post. This is Baycott trying the reverse. Another tough fight for the rebound. And they'll get between them. I mean, Eric Curry having to touch gloves.
Absolutely. And good aggressive effort. You got to compete on the glass when you play Carolina. They are just thirsty for misses. Run them down. Nice little body up. Pushing a deep shot.
17 to shoot. Inbound Sharp. Sharp, what a spin, but then a nice recovery by the Cats defensively. Looked like Fletcher poked it away.
I think you're right. Pretty good hands. Boy, he's playing with some energy.
Now Fletcher wants it on the offensive end against Sharp.
I think John may have wanted a 2-for-1. The giveaway here by Black.
Reach-in foul on Leaky Black. First.
And let's see if Kentucky gets hungry. Make the free throws, see if they can get an opportunity. Steal here, be in the right position. I don't think John would ever have this group together this far, this early. Do you? These 5?
Right.
I mean, he's sort of saddled with fouls difficulties.
Sometimes you stumble into something, don't you?
Yeah. Just keep playing hard.
Boston has answered the challenge from his coach. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in the first half for the freshman. Georgia, California high school player of the year last season, Sierra Canyon. Ryer Williams and Bronny James. It's an 11-2 run. Cal uses a timeout.
This is the new iPhone 12 Pro with 5G, and it's on AT&T, the fastest nationwide 5G network.
Now new and existing customers can get our best deal.
Really? Mom, AT&T has the deal for new and existing customers. I will.
So what'd she say?
It's the wrong person. It's a guy named Carl, but he's very excited and on his way.
Word of mouth advertising. It's what they did before commercials.
It's not complicated. Everyone gets our best deal, like the amazing iPhone 12 mini on us.
Phil, with all of your basketball expertise, what's going to happen in the last 33 seconds?
Thank you. Self-praise isn't my style, obviously, but I do think they're going to go for it here. Kentucky, full court pressure, see if they can disrupt, turn one over, get a little bit hungry. Now they back it off. 2-3 zone.
On the wrinkle.
Yeah. Offensive rebound is going to be a concern. Roy's going to hold it till late. If you get a good shot, it's redeemable with a tip.
Late in the half, zone out of the timeout.
Got to turn the corner somehow when they give them a ball screen. They're just cracked in the zone.
With 7 to shoot, now 5 to shoot. Love looking for help. Love drives on Boston through the zone. And one off the window, Caleb Love.
Cracked that little front. Nice read. The ability off the bounce. Faulty defense set it up, though. And you can turn that corner. A little kiss in downtown Cleveland. Don't you love it?
Fouls on Boston, and that is his second. So another big one for Kentucky. Saar's coming back. He has 2 personals. So 4.4 left. And the rebound is a big thing right here. If there happens to be a miss, you don't want to give the foul. Got to squeeze. Love finishes it off. Cats out at last with 4.4.
Got to shoot it.
Saar gets it, gives it up. Askew lets it fly. Well, if the hungry cat hunts best, the Kentucky Wildcats come out hungry. 38-34 at the half. We'll send you to Adam Zucker in New York with AT&T in the half after these messages. But closely tied together as always. And seriously, happy holidays, and here's to a wonderful 2021 to all of you.
Despite the distance, I do care for you. I just want you to know.
I appreciate it. I feel it from socially distant. All right, so
after such a tough year, what a great time of year to celebrate with your families, right?
Good to be back on the road again.
Absolutely. I knew you'd get Willie in here at some point.
On the road to the Final Four. All right, so
Roy would like to get going for the holidays as well, get his club going.
So what do you expect second half? I mean, we've got foul trouble on both sides. We've seen a lot of excellent energy from the Wildcats, good response from the Heels. How does it play out in the second half?
I'm curious to see what Carolina does. They love the speed game, get it down. But I think they've got to be patient and take advantage of their big guys. Give them more opportunities to do some damage, particularly with the foul-laden interior of Kentucky. And how about Mintz's performance, huh? Pretty impressive.
The veteran presence, and now it's Terrence Clark who begins the second half with the ball in his hands.
And right out of the gate, a little change, a little run and jump, making use of clock.
A Hall of Fame coaching matchup. There's a bump. Jackson couldn't finish, but the foul is on Bacot. So Roy Williams, John Calipari, the Hall of Fame coaching matchup. Carolina and Kentucky.
Now, these two have seen it all, haven't they?
And mentioned from the beginning, but I mean, you almost forget. I mean, Roy Williams really brought Carolina back to glory. John Calipari really brought Kentucky back to glory. There was a rough patch for both of these programs prior to.
Absolutely. How about Roy? Over 400 wins in 2 programs. That's unheard of. This guy is a gamer, developing young people. Exasperating last year for him, really, with a great recruiting class, just blending them is the key for this program right now.
I mean, Carolina fans want to forget, but last place in the ACC, 6-14. When Roy took over, he was the 3rd head coach in 6 years in North Carolina. Stabilizing now, including the 2017 title when they went through Kentucky.
A little shove from the back, maybe Mintz, I think.
It is on Mintz. That is his first.
Just a little small change here, losing balance. Saar in the right spot, too, to prevent. Nice look.
Falling asleep. Playtech gets fouled. So off the baseline inbound, Carolina steals a chance for a couple at the free throw line.
Now, you mentioned Hall of Fame coaches. All the great ones score on those baseline out of bounds. Particularly against young teams. Communication skills lacking.
Boston gets that foul for Kentucky, but they actually changed the foul at the half, so that is now the second on Boston. That was a change at the half. So Boston fouls, and fouls impactful early. Even the first 30 seconds of this second half, we've had some big foul calls.
Boston taking over the point again. That's one of those things. Nobody got a touch. You can get that shot a little later. The way they load up in that lane, go box to box. There's the back screen.
Down to Brooks, backing in. Draws 2 defenders.
Nobody diving either when the ball goes inside.
Leaky Black, and then that's a big one. Isaiah Jackson gets his 3rd.
Terrible. Small change.
So Jackson got 2 in the first 3 minutes of the first half, and now not even a minute into the second half, Jackson gets his 3rd. So he'll have to sub out Lance Ware, who was terrific in the first half, but he also has 2 personal
Yeah, they
fouls.
are really in trouble. That's the impact of the bigs for Carolina.
Black and Clark nearly get tangled up. Keep an eye on that one.
Overload.
Love. Air ball on the long 2, sending the Cats on the run. Boston slows it up.
Look to use that high post guy to start the offense. Little dribble exchange. Pin down. This is what I like Sarr now. They like to hit him on the elbow and go to rim. Not a good look.
Take it away. Brooks taps it. Baycott brings it back, and now Playtech attacks on Ware, gets the block. Foul on Sarr, and Baycott finishes it off end to end.
And that's the ability of the bigs to run the floor. Explosive. And Baycott gets those long legs in rhythm. Of course, Playtech there with a little solid drive. You can hear John.
The point was make the easy play, right?
Exactly.
Take the check down, and then Sarr gets his 3rd personal foul. So already here in the second, a minute and a half in, Jackson and Sarr have both picked up their 3rd personal.
Thank you for interpreting, by the way.
So when
Selective.
Cal says keep it simple, that means keep it simple, right? You could have added the stupid part.
Well, that's
but
the
it's nice of you
kiss,
not
the
to.
kiss offense.
Right.
Well, Sarr had decent games with 9 rebounds against Carolina last year. 1 game, 13 points.
When he was at Wake Forest.
Yeah, I thought he might really do a job today.
Coaching change there. Danny Manning and Steve Ford decided to move over to Kentucky.
Really extending the D. They've really not been able to get any back cuts against this terrific denial defense.
7 to shoot. Boston floats over Playtech.
Tough shot.
Boarded by Brooks.
Ball's not popping around.
Leaky Black looking to the post for Sharp. Sharp wants it. And now back in it. He draws 2. Jackson gets the block. And then a foul committed by Sharp.
Yeah, a little giveaway. Excellent defense by Jackson. That trip and the other end just defensively keeping your guy in position, moving those puppies, and now the good challenge late. Really rushed the shot. Easy shots. So important. And they don't come off the dribble all the time. It comes off for action.
Second personal foul. Aaron Sharp for North Carolina. Mintz conducting with the freshman on the wing with the grad transfer. Mintz.
That's where you're starting your offense out here with 10 to go.
So now Mintz calling out the shot he won.
That
When
is
Mintz passed you heard him say shot.
Right.
It's in take it, freshman.
It's a great trip defensively, though, for Carolina. Don't you think? I mean, they were right out there in spot, moving the legs, and just a great challenge. Love the move defensively. Get him.
So now 8 turnovers. It's been a major issue for Kentucky. In fact, both of these teams more turnovers than assists on the year.
Well, they do a nice job positioning on the low post.
Sharp banging with Ware. Gets through, couldn't finish. Mintz, eyes up. Outlet to Boston. Cats on the run. Boston attacks and finishes off the look from Mintz.
Well, a nice little sneak out, a great acknowledgement with the pass. Able to ward off, finish the deal. Nice little opportunity. You need easy baskets against stingy D, and Carolina had been stepping it up on that end of the floor.
Second foul on Love. Boston to the free throw line. And I mean, you can hear and see the mentorship really between Mintz and Boston. You call it just being good teammates, but I mean, Mintz is literally trying to put him in position to play.
Well, right now, John probably made the first time in his career is doing point guard by committee. And just rotating different people up top.
And played Clark some at the point. Cal pointed out it was a bit like Tyreek Evans, Memphis, in 2009. 6'6", they were off to a slow start. From the elbow, boarded by Devin Askew, and now Askew brings it up for Kentucky. So the question of who's going to play point for Kentucky this year, right now, it's just about everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Askew now, I think he's played within himself, particularly in that first half.
So Boston off the ball, and now Jackson facing up. Jackson attacks, creates, foul is on the floor before the shot from Askew.
Black, no. A little reach in.
Let's double check. It is on Black, and that is his set. Black and Love both have 2.
See, when you work with a former coach, he's done a lot of refereeing, by the way. Usually done the course of his coaching career.
Are you speaking of yourself?
Yeah, well, most of us.
7 to shoot.
Pull up.
Boston clear out on the big man. Foul, got it on the floor. So Baycott.
Boston knew. He forced into a tough shot. The little shove at the end cost him. You don't want to foul when the guy is going to put himself into a difficult release position.
Now, second on Baycott, and will be shooting fouls. So 2 shots coming from Brandon Boston Jr., who was attacking and getting to the line and hanging fouls on the heels now off the bounce.
I don't know how John will reach this young guy, but he's a different player right now.
On 60 Minutes tomorrow, what does the Pfizer vaccine mean for the pandemic? 60 Minutes. Talk to the team's key players to find out tomorrow on CBS. With our producer, Bill Thayer, director, Chris Benson, Carter Blackburn, Bill Raftery, CBS crew from downtown Cleveland with the Buckeyes and the Bruins to come.
Pretty good afternoon to talent. Nice high low. There you go, that early.
And then Baycott off the look from Sharp.
And Ware looks like he hurt his hand down on the low post there trying to defend.
And that's on Boston, and that is now his 3rd.
But a pressure defensively for big people. You've got a run back and in position. A little double barrel there, a bruiser engine. Loading up on the young guy.
That is a bruising coaching doubleheader right there. Love misses the wide open 3. Ware goes up for it, and somehow Sharp rips it away but can't finish. So now Boston attacking. Toppin
great
by Baycott. What a block.
Well, nobody's backing it out and running the offense.
So give it to Sharp, and 1.
Once again, the pressure of running the floor, being in a dominant position, but extraordinary. The big fellas, let him go, Roman, big time, huh?
The heavy heels.
You better come strong if you want to prevail against this inside game. The push, the ability to convert.
Blue, Kentucky by 2. Let's take a look at the fast analysis presented by AT&T 5G.
Running the floor, we talked about the offensive end, but right here, look at Baycott, the ability to get back and convert. At first, I thought Boston was 1-on-3, but a nice fill here. Unfortunately, at the top of the summit, the big fella looming so large. And then the push at the other end, eventually a little tough angle delivery on the kiss shot.
And how about the officiating note there? Let that go play on and no foul.
Excellent, really great job, great coordination, no anticipation, let it play. A little shot before we went to that highlight with Steve Robinson, a longtime assistant. And Roy Williams.
Sharp misses the free throw. Askew brings it back. Clark off a good screen from Ware.
One of the committee running the point.
Speaking of committee, Mitch Barnhart, Kentucky's athletic director, will serve as chair of the men's basketball selection committee this year. Dan Gavin and his staff, remarkable work to prepare for March of 2021, whatever is ahead.
And boy, this might be the hardest year of all for the committee with all that's happened, but that was just on a good foul. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, but Askew wisely in that position to deliver.
So Boston, Jackson, Saar, and Saar's is really big because a minute and a half into the second half, he gets his third. Both he and Jackson got their third early in the second half, so the Carolina big men, even with Saar on the floor, you know that he's playing with foul trouble, so they're extra aggressive.
Well, he's got some offensive game, too. That's the problem. I mean, he can deliver some punch. Talk about him on the elbow, driving the low post area. So that's the lift they need, particularly with the inexperience on the perimeter.
The Irish know all about him. He was terrific.
Yeah.
Wildcat versus the Irish, he was terrific as a Demon Deacon versus Notre Dame. And then Platek gets his third for Carolina. Kerwin Walton gave him a lift late in the first half.
And known as a shooter. Nice little entry here.
Nice speed and then a nice finish from Armando Bacot.
Well, you got to put up a fight down there. You got to do your homework, get in position, shove the big.
Saar back into the hands of Mintz, the two Kentucky veterans of college basketball.
And Brooks doesn't really have to guard him. Saar not looking to dominate, but a nice little release on the dribble drive.
On the floater from Clark.
That's twice we've seen that. Brooks is really good getting position. Just discarded Saar. Keep going in there.
And now Brooks will skip. Walton looking for Bacot.
Well, you had him if he wanted. Bring it down to the side.
Love resets, 9 to shoot. Love off the screen from Brooks.
Hesitation.
And tied on Saar. Didn't get the bucket or the foul. Brooks following up, play on, and the Cats come away with it. Askew past Black on the run.
Oh, great balance.
Clark nearly walked, and John Calipari says, bring it out.
Oh, John really working the sideline.
He's all the way midcourt. Clark tries the runner again, boarded by Brooks.
He is because of the inexperience. These big guys are going to get better holding their guy in position a little bit. Sharp and Bacot in particular.
Askew doubles down.
Nice denial where. Give it up. Numbers.
On the repost, Kentucky. Mintz switches hands and finishes. Anyway, Cats by 6.
How smart. He had Love in position to dominate. He took advantage with it. It's the curl.
Davion Mintz with his season-high scoring already. 13 points. Love turns the corner and drops it off of Brooks. Shot fake on Ware, bump, and that is number 4 on Lance Ware.
Yeah. Just wearing them out in the inside post defense. The consistency of this team to get it inside. Nice little denial. The ability of the open elegant just go body search. Able to kiss that baby home.
Veteran move in the open floor.
Well, everybody talking about Saar being a great addition. Mintz, as the year progresses, is going to be magnificent, I think, for this team.
And the Creighton Blue Jays fly. He's been doing that his whole college career.
They like to get up and down, no question about it. Get the ball side to side. A lot of individual skill ability.
How about Marquette's win at Creighton? That was a big one.
Unbelievable. And they came back and had seen all crazy things happen right this year.
And every year, oh, Brooks off the free throw miss, follows on the tap out.
Got it.
And now Walton hits the 3. And it's all because of the work done by Bacot to get the second effort.
You're not afraid to pass the ball around a little bit.
A 2-point game between the Tar Heels and the Wildcats. They have played some epic battles, including in the CBS Sports Classic in recent years.
They have not been able to get Saar a touch. Brooks has done a great job in that low box area.
Here goes Mintz again. Wipe it out, and in fact it is. That is on Caleb Love, and that is his third.
And just the ability to swipe it out, not afraid to give that look, the extra pass. Get him organized. Make something happen.
Season high, which means it's his Kentucky high.
That's that Syracuse education.
Thank you. You've worked with a few Syracuse folks over the years. So Kentucky, I mean, it was when John Calipari told us everybody's panicking. I mean, that's what happens when you're 1-4 Kentucky. I'm not.
Well, Kentucky, I mean, listen, that's these two programs. Every time you play somebody, that's the major game on your schedule.
No question.
And he was lamenting the fact they weren't home, which happens to every program. No bye games, no opportunities to teach the young people, let them grow. But under the gun right now. Pretty good response.
Including the Detroit Mercy. A couple games where Brad is now playing, Brad Calipari. Walden, step back, and hits it.
Well, he had that rep coming in. Why not?
Back-to-back triples from Kerwin Walden, and we're even at 49.
And what did Roy say to us? Get the guards to make some shots, to play solid.
Carolina has 4 made threes, and 3 of them from Kerwin Walden, the freshman from Minnesota. And now Walden in the open floor. Sarr commits the foul. 4th on Sarr. Huge from Walden.
He is not upset, but Walden really a little side saddle, able to convert the shot. Ooh, what a welcome relief. Ooh, oh, very nice. And why not? It's Walden's place. Just a little sidestep. The extra pass here after the slap out. Just refreshing. And this helps everybody. Opens up the big people for opportunities now because you've got to stretch the D and hook him a little bit. So let him be on the entry side, the low box area.
And he's come back fired up. He had a late turnover at Iowa that was costly for the Heels in that one. And as we talk about all of the talented freshmen on the floor, Kerwin Walden has added his name to the list,
mix,
certainly.
right?
Yeah. Spotlight on him. He's been terrific off the bench. Again, Carolina has only 4 made threes, 3 of them from Kerwin Walden. And with 11:43 to go in this one, lots of foul trouble on both sides, including Sarr and Ware for the Wildcats.
And that last trip by Sarr, I didn't know where he was going on that drive. Just a little bit of helter-skelter on the offensive end. Little run and jump now after the timeout. Again, got to be prepared for a lot of stuff when you play Carolina.
On the 9-1 run, 8 of those points from Walden.
Tough shot there.
Air ball right into the hands of Baycott.
You got the defense right on your shooting hand.
Black attacks on Askew. Leaky can't finish. Clark brings it back.
Another tough shot. 2 in a row by these clubs.
And you almost hear the stomp from Cal because, I mean, you get numbers there on the run and a turnover.
Here's the confusion. Clark not really accustomed to being a point guard. He's looking to give it up to somebody where they want him running the show right now. So it's like a state of flux a little bit. You see the frustration by venting by Cal.
And you know, you pointed out they wanted to play through Sarr offensively more, the 7-footer, but no opportunity because of all the foul trouble.
And the good defense, too, particularly by this guy, Brooks. Got to stay on Walden. See if they get a post up on his side.
Walden knocked away by Jackson, so Walden trying to drive. Ends up turning it over. It touched Tar Heel last. Jackson disrupted it. So now it's Clark bringing it up at 6-7. One of the best players that Boston has produced in recent memory. Clark on the offense. Yeah, it is offensive foul and then a tough tumble.
And that's not what you're calling to play for. And he's injured, too.
Yeah, Clark is down, and you see him immediately holding the ankle. Gets tangled up with Davis. It is an offensive foul and a turnover, second personal. But Clark clearly banged up.
This is tough for him. He's not a point guard, but trying to learn that particular position. And the first little set, you dribble drive, and that's not what you do. You got to coordinate people. The good guards get the ball back at some point in the shot clock.
So Clark on the bench for Kentucky. Devin Askew into the game for the Cats.
And diagonal screen to the box, and they got a hold.
Looks like this is on Mintz. That is his second. Team fouls are adding up on both sides as well.
And they are legitimate fouls, I think. As you know, people, a lot of whistles, but rightfully so.
You pointed out several times that's some Excellent play on. A lot of contact, but no fouls.
Absolutely. I love this kid's game, though. He and Sharp are going to be terrific players.
Baycott had 11 double-doubles as a freshman, most since Anton Jameson. I mean, anytime you're going to sentence Mr. Jameson, bodes well. Jackson has the board off the miss from Baycott.
He played with a lot of energy, that kid, too. Loved watching his game. Look at this denial. If you don't back cut, you are going to have a tough time catching the ball. You're going to be force deep on the floor and the shot clock. Nice little curl.
Off the catch. Good screen from Jackson, but couldn't take advantage. So Donovan Puff Johnson from Moon Township, PA. We're 14 for the Heels. John Calipari. Pittsburgh area, right by the airport.
He's got a nice little lefty stroke watching him. Little roller. Hey, on cue.
Moon Township representing.
How about that? Puff.
Now, then you have the Hillcrest Prep and Phoenix played for Mike Bibby, but you got John Calipari from Moon Township trying to bring the Cats back, and here comes Puff.
Puff, the Magic, able to convert. Big time southpaw delivery.
Sponsored by Verizon, the network more people rely on. And by Jersey Mike Subs, be a sub above. From the Hall of Fame.
I've carried him over the years on the golf course. He didn't have any game. Of course, Billy Cunningham, OIC, great pal of mine. Just so happy the job he's been able to do during his career here at the alma mater. Here's a young group, and here's a little Puff.
Foul on Johnson's first. R.J. Davis is back into the game for North Carolina. First action since he got banged up. So Davis back on the floor for the Heels. This is the largest lead of the game for North Carolina as Terrence Clark tries to get prepared to get back into the game for Kentucky. Jacob Tobin, who's been 1 year at Rhode Island. A very good Ram team in 21 games.
66% free throw shooter. Nice little stroke there.
But OB's Flyers beat him twice, though, in that matchup between the Toppins. Need a BC powder, perhaps, for Roy.
Yeah. Well, this game can be painful, no question about it.
The Carolina way. Play hard, play smart,
and play fast. Davis on the floor now, run the show. Got some shooters on the wing, and Walton, see if they can get him involved a little bit for his post entry too, because you really got to guard him now.
Baycott wants it on the block. Brooks wants it as well, but the Kentucky big men denying.
And Baycott was free for that high-low.
3 to shoot. Now here's Davis. He launches it short into the hands of Toppin for the Cats.
Not a pretty set.
No field goals in over 4 minutes for Kentucky, and yet they're only down by 3. Askew leaves it for Boston, keeps the handle together somehow. Still plenty of time on the shot clock.
Jackson really hasn't been on the floor much with the fouls, but then they make touches. Tough shot.
Top 2. Mintz goes to get it on the offensive glass, looking for help. Reset Kentucky.
Boy, we have seen him do that twice now. Really, really good nose for the ball. Pinned down.
8 to shoot. Mintz. How about a third chance for the Cats? Jackson goes to get it on the offensive glass. Boston will reset. Cal wants Askew at the point. Boston off the ball. A reminder, your shot clock on the offensive glass reset to 20, so it's already down to 6. Into the offense. Askew and a foul called.
Boy, Cal is frustrated. They were trying to set a play too high. One ball screens, one rolls, and frustration.
Going backward.
And when you look at Kentucky, they really have struggled. Different guys at the point, but right here, this is late in the shot clock where they really weren't set. Cal was trying to communicate where they have 2 people, one behind the other. One screens, rolls to the lane, and the other pops out. And he was really venting on the sideline. And It's just difficult. You know, Ian Eagle, your buddy and mine, we did the Nets for years. Jason Kidd was there. They would have a statue in front of the Garden if you played in Madison Square, you know, for the next. Think pass first. Get everybody involved. Like that gets a nice clean look here.
Hey, big props for Noah Eagle. We call him the wild card.
How about that? Yeah.
Another broadcast partner of yours.
But to finish the thought on Kidd, it's get everybody organized, and like the good guard will get it back with 10 and get them into something, or can do it on his own. Well, the philosophy now is really, we've seen that pose a couple of times because not doing the things he wants done.
Good sign. Yeah, good sign for Kentucky with Terrence Clark back out on the floor. Rolled the ankle, so both Davis has been banged up for the heels and Clark has been banged up for the Cats. Thrown out there. May not even another foul, but right before the break, Jackson got his fourth. So that means Jackson, Sard, and Ware all have 4 for Kentucky.
You notice the foul line defense there by Carolina, that long rebound. A lot of teams would have been lackadaisical covering the shooter and lost it.
And then Terrence Clark gets his 3rd. Leaky Black to the line. Got the first. Double bonus, 2 shots here. Leaky Black, Concord, North Carolina. Malik.
You know, some coaches like to be old, which I certainly can relate to. Right now, the guards, particularly Carolina, are young, and all of the starters for Kentucky are, and it really is difficult. You're sort of pounding them to do things that they're unaccustomed to do. It's a very difficult task.
Second chance for the Heels. This has been a strength. Offensive rebounding, and then Black right to the rim, and looks like, let's see, is number 5 on Ware. I
thought he kept his arms pretty good. The verticality gave ground.
Ware fouls out. 7:34 means,
that's tough. One of the few. Glenn Calipari asking the same thing. He's saying went straight up, and I love this kid's energy. He enjoys playing, gets out after it.
You know, we said even before he fouled out of this game, I mean, the numbers don't tell you what Lance Ware brought to the floor for Kentucky today. I mean, 4 points, but still, he was terrific, and now fouls out. That means you got to come back with Jackson or Saar, who both have 4 apiece.
Well, he played with emotion, a care, a concern, wanting to contribute, energizing his teammates.
And give credit to Carolina, too, because a lot of those fouls were hung on the Cats early, so the Heels were aggressive, trying to get Kentucky exactly into this position. Out of trouble with the big men.
They do force you into situation, particularly inside, and then having to check out. Such a great offensive rebounding team.
Offensive rebound was the 10th for Carolina, and Leaky Black rattles it home. 5-point edge for the Heels.
This kid is really a good driver, pushes it. Very dangerous in the early offense as well.
Missed a second, but here's another chance. This counts as a 3rd chance on the trip for the Heels.
I think Brooks got that hand on it.
And now Davis sets him up. 9 to shoot. Davis around the screen for Brooks. He screens again, freeing Leaky Black. Tap out, finally Kentucky clears it. Mintz gets the rebound, and Mintz coast to coast. Can't stick the finish.
Unabashed, huh? He is playing in a fearless fashion. He wasn't the least bit concerned with all the blue shirts in front of him, though. Nice little Euro, and almost an opportunity for a 3-point play.
And that is now 3 fouls on Garrison Brooks, but at this point, a big man with 3 fouls in the game with 7:08, that's not even a concern. Major concern for the Cats. Ware is already fouled out. Jackson, Saar have 4, and then in the backcourt, Boston and Clark both have 3. Both teams in the double bonus for 7:08. So free throws and attacking.
Hey, get it inside and pound it.
Maybe on Mintz thought that was a lane violation. Doesn't get the call, but Mintz wanted another one. That could be big. Sharp handles it, feeds Brooks. Big to big.
A little double. Somebody's got to be free. A little fumble.
Yeah,
The first time they've doubled.
And we saw who came over, and then Brooks touched it out of bounds. So good defensive stretch here for Kentucky. Turnovers have been whittled in this game. Not perfect, but
Carolina better with those an offensive pick. Oh my God, that one Jackson again. Little pin down. That's it.
That's 5 on Jackson. Yeah. It is Isaiah Jackson and Lance Ware have both fouled out for Kentucky, and Olivier Sarr has 4.
And John asking, are they moving at the other end? He's a little bit upset on the whistle. Right here, we'll just see if he slightly, but you've got to be like a statue.
Well, in fairness, that is one of the things that's been pointed out as a officiating point of emphasis this year is moving on the screen to get too wide.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, that one was not a wide. Yeah, exactly. But that was just motion at the end. Why, you say?
Kentucky down by 4 with 2 players already fouled out.
They run that little curl, the cross screen, the 2 bigs.
Latek gives it up, 7 to shoot. Love steps into it.
They're going the other way.
Sharp against Carolina. It's Sharp who gets it. That is his 3rd. 6:21. Tuesday, 9 Eastern, CBS Sports Network. 18th ranked San Diego State against St. Mary's on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Terrific battle between San Diego State and BYU. BYU won it. The Aztecs came all the way back. San Diego State had the opening win over UCLA. We'll see the Bruins next here in Cleveland against the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think a much improved UCLA team, particularly on that defensive end. They can get after you. And efficient offensively. Good shooters. And Sarr's got to play intelligently on that defensive end now with his foul problems.
Jackson's fouled out. Ware is fouled out. See if the Cats can play through Sarr in the last 6:21, which was part of the game plan coming in.
Extended the floor now.
Clark's still hobbling a little bit. No field goals in 7 minutes and counting for Kentucky.
Big to big here.
Sharp backing in. Kick out. Play tag, big 3.
Well, a great shot for another reason. They really loaded up on the offensive glass. Great offensive position. If it didn't go down.
The slow shooting start for Carolina. The early hole. They've dug out. Lead the Cats by 5.
A little double stagger here.
Boston off the look from Mintz. That was a big one.
Yeah, sure was. They don't get back.
The drought continues, but then the heels. Was it touched?
I tell you, I thought it might have been a double tick on that.
It is out of bounds off of Boston. That's the call. And Tar Heel basketball. Here comes Clark. Askew checks out. So the backcourt with Mintz, Clark, and Boston on the floor together for Kentucky.
Yeah, don't lose plate that he really keeps busy. Or can't go sniffing to help others. That slice cut. Look at this live on the back screen. Pretty execution. Timely.
Brooks finishes it off. Carolina by 7, largest lead for the Heels.
Post rub, Sarr really has to dig in on his guy. Want that basketball in the low box.
Clark attacks. Skip, Boston give it up. Mintz.
Nice.
Off the bounce. Mintz couldn't hit. Second chance. Clark fires the 3. Kentucky needs something to go down. Foul is on the floor, and that'll get Sarr to the free throw line.
Much more activity by Sarr, though, right? All of a sudden, look at this little back screen set. Just no communication. You almost have to switch that one. Nice little lob. Perfect execution. Jam it and let your partner know. Carolina fashion.
Fouls on Brooks. That is his 4th, so that's a big one for the Heels. And now Sarr. Kentucky trying to score at the free throw line because it has been 8 minutes without a field goal for the Cats. And that is a quiet day for Olivier Sarr with only 2 points. Hasn't hit a field goal. But again, credit North Carolina, both strategy and defense, and then Sarr, he can't end the drought.
This is a tough team for Kentucky to come back. They get the inside play. And they can get you in foul problems, which we've seen. Beat you on the glass. Cover both boxes.
Playtech coming up by Boston. Feeds it in. Gets it back in the corner. Out of bounds off of Toppin.
He did a nice job. He read that was a baseline pass that was well executed on the screen. Saved the goal.
Hey, tough spot to inbound, right?
Yeah, but this corner, they run through it. Well, not ready, really.
So Love gets it back, 7 to shoot. Love attacks on Askew, takes the bump, play on. Short, can't hit it. Foul is on Kentucky, somewhere in there.
Not sure who they got it on. It might be Clark. I don't think it was Sarr, but you can just see the impact of their body, the movement, get you shoved under the rim. And just right here, look at this inside position. That is just gorgeous. Great preparation.
It's on Sarr, and that's his fifth.
That's it.
So Jackson, Ware, and Sarr have all fouled out for Kentucky. So the Wildcats will have to presumably go small. I mean, you don't have many other options for the last 4-3-33 to go small and try and come back.
Your point guard might be guarding their center or power forward. I mean, that's the position they're in right now.
Well, when one of your point guards, anyway, is Terrence Clark at 6'7", but I mean, you pointed out from the very get-go, I mean, the Heels have a lot of big bodies, and they can get just about anybody in foul trouble.
And they play the same way. Very consistent in their screening, understanding of the body, to control the opponent. You can hear John saying you've got the shooter, and these fundamental things that you would expect.
Kentucky needing offense from somewhere in the last 4.5. A 20-6 run. Boston hasn't scored since the 17-minute mark of the second half.
And they're stuck on one side right here. Defense loading up.
Boston tries to drop it off for Toppin. Good hustle play by Fletcher to keep it alive.
Down to 5.
Florida shoot. Askew crossing over, drops it off Toppin. Finally, something goes down for Kentucky.
Dribble drive, a great presentation. Askew.
Can the Cats fight back in the last 3:52?
Pretty.
The Heels bring in the fight anyway with Baycott.
What distribution by Sharp.
Clark on the wing, attacking Black. Clark floats it and hits it. Terrence Clark.
Can't match baskets, need stops.
And now can Kentucky get back on D to slow the Heels' transition? Black attacking Clark. Step back.
Look at this rebound and a foul.
And a foul. Too much on the offensive glass from Day'Ron Sharp and North Carolina. To Atlanta and college football today, all today and tonight on CBS. What do you think, though? Can the Gators,
your expertise, can Florida win?
It would be a shootout if the Gators are able to knock off the Tide, and it would be a thriller if it's Gators and Tide scoring up and down.
It would help in terms of the Heisman.
The Heisman team could be on the line. Mac Jones, potentially Devontae Smith could be just the 4th wide receiver to win the Heisman, so an SEC title. And potentially the Heisman Trophy on the line tonight. Alabama versus Florida. Playtech on the run. Bump play on. Black does. Fight for the loose ball again. Won by Carolina.
That ball movement. Pretty impressive with this team. Side to side. A lot of touches. Extra look.
Black in the corner. Boarded by Clark. Cats in a hurry. Askew floater.
That's a heck of a goal. Open floor with Biggs prevailing.
Still anyone's game. 2.5 to go. 6 points separates the Tar Heels and the Wildcats.
Toppin really can't handle the low post box area. Sharp was begging big time.
So Love resets.
Got to go inside. Physically, there's that little slice cut we saw earlier. Merca's play, screen down, screen to screener.
4 to shoot, play tech fires.
Look at this inside though.
Another offensive rebound and second chance bucket for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, you just see the size disparity, the ability to dominate. Not really too many answers, but if you can shoot it soft enough, these kind of things happen for Carolina. Just cover the weak side. Just a great understanding of offensive rebounding.
Fouls on Mintz, his third.
Hurt his hand, or he's got some blood maybe?
I'm not sure, but Mintz is coming out for a moment. We'll keep an eye on that. He's down in some Gatorade real quick, so perhaps cramping issues. Who knows? See if Mintz can come back. I mean, the Cats need him.
Badly. You know, he got a little bit of a cramp. That's why he's got the water going. That's one of the reasons I use liquids.
Where do the cramps usually appear? Well, maybe we'll leave it at that. So it is the largest lead for North Carolina by 9. Clark off the screen from top of the tax, rejected by the rim, and then Clark comes down awkward again. Clearly doesn't have the springs, and that ankle that he rolled earlier bothering him again.
And wise enough to hold it out here, use clock, get the defense moving.
Hey, the Carolina way, you have the lead late, so stretch it out into 4 corners, right?
A little dribble drive here, only one post man. Got to go.
Love gets it back, 3 to shoot. Oh, nice spin. Boston rejects it. So the Cats get a defensive stop. That is shot clock violation, although Kentucky was ready to run.
Yeah, they were ready to go.
Shot clock violation means you got to get it inbounds, and Carolina can set it up defensively.
Now both these teams were thirsty for a victory. Kentucky, a long way to go to get where they want to go.
Well, Boston lost it out of bounds. I mean, Carolina has youth itself, but you just feel those little things of more veteran play, and such small things have shown up big.
Up front, I mean, they're just so powerful. I mean, just devastating, the physicality they can provide. Low post offense, obviously.
Kentucky trying to turn up the full court pressure. Clark reaches in and fouls, and that is 5 on Clark. He fouls out with 1:09. Meaning Clark, Jackson, Ware, and Sarr have all fouled out for the Cats.
And the other bad news is they go home. They have to go over to Louisville, I believe.
That's right.
If I'm not mistaken.
At 1 and 5, so it's at Louisville, and then the start of SEC play with South Carolina, and a hope for Kentucky that Keon Brooks can come back at some point in the near future and give them a lift.
Now, this is a challenge for these young guys at Kentucky. I mean, to bond as a group, understand their psyche has been impacted at this point because everything has been so good and carefree during their careers. Everybody attracted to get them to go to their university, and now all of a sudden, goodness, it's shattered a little bit. So it's just got to be a group thing. Organize your thoughts. Don't get down on yourself. Work hard in practice. It always starts on the defensive end. That's where you really get your game going. Create some havoc, get some easy baskets. And they struggle to get easy hoops.
Laytech foul, so that's stops the clock and sends Askew to the line. Good result there for Kentucky. Cats led this by 11 at the 13:06 mark of the first half. So, I mean, it was a good start. There was the energy. There was the
Very
team
much
flow.
so.
And yet still, especially with all the foul outs, a minute 1, you're down by 11. Largest lead for Carolina. And despite the good start, Kentucky is now staring at 1 and 5.
Well, that's guarding without fouling is a major issue, too. That's something they've got to straighten out. They make this, get your defense set, create a little havoc.
And for North Carolina, the way they've gotten to 5 and 2 has been overcoming slow starts. Another one today, down by double digits in the first half, and now a double-digit lead with less than a minute to go.
Outside shooting and free throw.
Offensive long, good sell by Mintz.
You got to be careful with the referee, too.
And that's a 4th on Love. So Mintz making a play for his team to get it back. and give Kentucky at least a glimmer.
Got to go quick if you're Kentucky. Carolina forced them to use clock.
Askew down the baseline, stepped on the baseline and turned it over.
Playtech with great defense, though.
And the questions at point guard continue for Kentucky.
Yeah, no easy answer. Again, it's going to be by committee.
Brooks looking for the lob to Playtech. Instead, he gets it back.
Brooks is a good passer. Finds people.
Keep away from Carolina. Playtech brings it out, and now Brooks slipping, and time slipping away for Kentucky.
A lot of guys would have passed that diagonally. Brooks did not. They were jumping the passing lane.
Hey, speaking of jumping.
Yeah.
Jumping for joy.
On cue.
In baby blue. Think of the great Woody Durham. The great Woody Durham.
Yeah. Love this Carolina.
Wonderful family, the Durham family. Holiday wishes. Durham's as well. So Clark, Jackson, Ware, and Sarr all fouling out for Kentucky, dimming the hopes for a comeback in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, fouls really destroyed any opportunities in a way.
Mintz off the shot fake into the corner. Triple. Won't go. Mintz.
Again.
Offensive glass again.
That's third. Unbelievable. He hurt his leg again, or he got the cramp going.
So Mintz still lucky. Now with 16.5 to go, it is the Tar Heels with a 10-point edge. North Carolina ball and a chance to close it out and go to 5-2 for UNC.
I'm impressed with Brooks. I mean, just solid on both ends of the floor. I mentioned his passing. He's the inbounder.
Yeah, doesn't that say something?
After I said that.
But it works
It was
out
the right
for the
pass.
Heels.
It was the right pass.
Sure, but I mean, that does say something that he's the inbounder, right?
Yeah.
You put the ball into the hands of your senior, the preseason ACC player of the year on a stretch like this.
He always has two hands on it, too, whether it's a rebound or catch, pass.
And Kerwin Walton was terrific off the bench for the Heels, especially from outside. I mean, like Roy told us, it comes down to making shots, and that's exactly what Kerwin Walton did.
He gave some separation at a key time, a couple of threes.
Helped lead the comeback effort. So we talked at the beginning about how both of these teams have issues. Yes, Kentucky, of course, with only one win, more pronounced. But what do you think the Heels learned today out of this one?
Well, again, we mentioned making shots. Touches in the box area on a consistent basis. You're going to get step-in looks, and your shooting will improve. A little more dribble drive and be creative and find the guy stepping into his shot. Oh, nice little back cut. But I like Mintz's game.
Boston misses the triple.
Kessler with the rebound. That should be it.
Kentucky is 1-5 for the first time since before Adolph Rupp's tenure with the Wildcats. It is North Carolina 75-63 over Kentucky. We will be back to Cleveland for the Bill Raftery postgame show next.